Hello and welcome everyone to the season review for the Challenge World Championship. Um, yeah, what a time to be alive. What a season to now go over. I know I talked about the Challenge World Championship in my tiny table talk. I was like, well, maybe we'll wait a week, but I decided to wait like 3 days. Take the weekend, sleep on it, think over the whole season, and then just jump right into it. I think we've know enough time to I feel like we know enough. We've been here for like 11 weeks. We know what's going on, right? So I thought it would be fun to just talk about it and get into. We're gonna go over grades. So this is how I want the season review to go. Sorry if I'm feeling all over the place. I just hit go. There's some weird song instrumental playing in my ears. I'm trying to bypass it. But let's be real. This is how we're gonna go. We're gonna grade the cast, the dailies, the eliminations, the drama, how entertaining it was, and how amped we would be to rewatch this season. So the grading will be a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being great, 5 being awesome. That's the best we ever could have for, and 1 being absolute poo poo. That it was the worst it's ever been. So I just want to get the ground rules out. So when we get to the cast portion, I'll talk about it, share the screen, and then I'll say, hey, what does everybody think? And then everybody can smash in the chat, either like 1 through 5, and then we can get on there. Also, please, yes, no spoilers. I totally understand that USA 2 has just finished filming. Do not talk about anything. Do not talk about anything USA 2. I will say that we do have an announcement for USA 2. Let me just actually get this up. The Challenge USA 2. Gosh, do I have to type out everything? Geesh, what is Google good for? If I have to type out everything. But I guess we'll go here. There we go. Let's talk about this. We got some announcements. Here we go. We got some announcements. Big Brother and the Challenge USA season 2 land a no thanks an August premiere on CBS. That's right. This was put out pretty early in the morning. Sheesh. I went to the movies today, so it shows how much I've been going on. But here we go. Let me just zoom this in for everybody so we can check this out. So season 2 of the Challenge USA will kick off Thursday, August 10th at 10 p.m. Oh my gosh. What? 10 p.m.? Holy heck. I gotta get my body ramped for August. I thought I was gonna be able to sleep in after all these sports, but I guess not. August 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Time, with 2 episodes per week for the first 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, we're gonna get 6 episodes. Justin said in the Discord that maybe they're gonna do cut the episodes in half for the first couple of weeks. We know that the writer strike is going on, so CBS is like packing down because they won't have a 4th season for Fire Country, whatever NCIS show that they're whatever city NCIS is going to be having a show in nowadays. So they're kind of like ramping up to have like these reality shows just take all of their scheduling time and show time for prime time. So I have a feeling they're going to really stretch out this USA, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, but maybe for those first 3 weeks, they'll cut those episodes in half so that they will have the dailies in the first part, eliminations in the next episode. Luckily, we wouldn't have to wait a full week to see that all play out because they will be having Thursdays at 10 p.m. for the first few weeks, and then Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, meaning I will be doing 2 review and recaps for the first 3 weeks. And then starting Thursday, August 31st, the competition show featuring the favorites from Survivor, Big Brother, and The Amazing Race. You could use the space there, right there. A little double check, maybe use some Grammarly, not a sponsor. Also, put this featuring favorites from Survivor Big Brother and The Amazing Race in quotes for The Amazing Race. I think there's like 2 people from The Amazing Race. So yeah, grabbing a whole bunch of favorites. They compete in the most demanding games of their lives. Debatable. Will then air once a week on Thursdays until the season finale. TJ Lavin will return as the host. So yeah, it's going to go for quite a while. So that was the big announcement today for everyone who did not know. Now I do want to mention this. When this was announced, and I kind of just want to be I don't know. I don't take this as anything because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no reassurance. I don't have any sources, but I just want to tell everybody. So I'll take a deep breath about All Stars 4. You know, let's say, I know everybody is disappointed that there was not a trailer right after on Wednesday or Thursday after the episode for the World Championship finale was released, that there wasn't a trailer right at the end of the World Championship, which I didn't think was going to happen because that thing is on streaming. They're not going to want to have everybody always see a trailer at the end of the World Championship credits or anything. But like, this is not doom and gloom for the All Stars 4. I think they know what they have in All Stars 4. They know how good it is. They know how much anticipation everybody is waiting for it. So what the thing is, I'm realizing is that because of the writer's strike and because now that the Challenge USA 2 is going to be on CBS, they're going to prioritize that over All Stars 4 because All Stars 4 is just going to go on streaming. So they're like, I think they're going to save All Stars 4. There's a ton of pandemonium on Twitter and other social media. By the way, beware on all social media, but there's a ton of pandemonium that when are we going to get All Stars 4? Does this mean that it's not going to happen until 2024? Does this mean that they're going to scrap it all together? I don't know. I don't have any reassurance. I don't have any information to say like, hey, everything's going to be okay with it. I'm just saying, let's not fret. I find it shocking that they prioritized USA 2 before it even wrapped up filming, that it's going to be rushed onto our TVs, and how much have they even edited up to this point? But I'm just saying, let's all not freak out. Let's take a deep breath. Just because they're prioritizing USA 2 doesn't mean that All Stars 4 is just long and gone, locked up in a vault and never going to be seen forever. I just don't see that happening. They already spent so much money on it. I don't think that they're going to scrap it. They have a great cast of the cast that's rumored. So I don't know. I just want to be I just want to be that voice that tells everybody like, hey, it's going to be okay. That's all I want to say. I have no idea if it's going to be okay, and I have no idea if it's going to be this year, next year, later next year, or will they prioritize season 39 over All Stars 4, or will they overlap with All Stars 4 at one point? I don't know, but I'm just saying, just because the announcement was made before All Stars 4 and we're really looking forward to, I just wouldn't freak out just yet. So don't freak out. Let's just look forward to some content, even though maybe not all of us are looking forward to USA 2. It could be fine. I still have faith that we will see All Stars 4 one of these days. Hopefully it's this year, but you never know. But I think someday, one day, we will see it. We will see that season. So, yeah. All right. Before we go any further, thank you everyone for being here on a Monday night. We are 9 minutes in, and I just want to say hey to a whole bunch of people that are here, like Lovable Nikki, who is saying this will be a spoiler-free live and chat. Please be respectful. Do not spam in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Also, Chris, Demetria, Willie, welcome in. Hello, Pilch, and Sue, welcome. Rodrigo, hello. Asia, thank you for being here. Ryan, hey, welcome. I don't know if I'm a legend. I don't know about that, but thank you so much. Woo, my alerts finally work. Thank you for putting on your alerts. Chasing K. Brene, thank you for being here. Eric, Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jackie. Yes, it was. The weekend was enough. Is that what you're saying? Terrell, hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hello, Milo. Yes, Danny is correct. Be careful on Twitter. I'm totally just walking away from Twitter. I barely go on there, but I do not want to be spoiled at all. No, thank you. YouTube Bearcat, welcome, welcome, welcome. Finally catching a live stream. I mean, I haven't done this since the early May, I believe. So I'm it's few and far between, but I'm happy to be here, getting to talk about the season, kind of shut the book officially on the season, going over the chat and everybody. But thank you for being here, William. Thank you for being here. Tanika, thank you for being here. Hello. And Raven, hi. So excited to be here. I'm excited you're here as well. Thank you for being here. And thank you for everyone for having a good time hanging out on your Monday night. I know there's going to be some hockey playoffs. I think there's some basketball playoffs. So being here for however long you're here, I just really, really appreciate it. I really hope they change the format of USA. I think I might dislike the worldwide formats the most at this point. Okay, I can see that. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hanging out. I don't want the algorithm. I'll be honest. I don't want the algorithm. I didn't like the algorithm, and I'd rather just not deal with it at all this season, especially with like the MTV people in. I don't know what's gonna happen with the MTV people in there, but Vinny, 6 episodes in 3 weeks concerns me. You and me as well. I feel like I'm gonna be exhausted those 3 weeks doing review and recaps like twice a week. My gosh. Hey, Zuda, welcome. Third trailer for All Stars 4 yet? Definitely not. Not yet. But we'll probably get the USA 2 very soon. I mean, we got a teaser. Who would have saw that teaser coming during or after Survivor last week? I was shocked when it was being like I was being tagged in there. I was, what the heck? What the heck? Welcome, Diana. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Welcome, Patty. Thank you for being here. I was one of the few people that enjoyed USA before the final. So I am staying optimistic about USA 2. Thank you, David. I mean, I think I was the harshest critic of USA. And looking back, it wasn't terrible until you get to that final. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Send Poppy. What's your favorite challenge format of all time? I did a Reddit post about this, making a Franken format of my favorite elements, and the responses were fun. I think Free Agents is by far the best. I think you have a level of solo mixed with team format and duo format, as well as a random element to where you have to compete to win, or you're going directly into the elimination / you are in danger. It kind of nullified the numbers quite a bit. And I understand that some people that went into elimination kind of skated on, like some people that didn't go into elimination and skated on by to the finals and didn't perform, as well as some people who missed out on making the finals who did get sent in because of the kill card. But to me, it's like, that was so much fun. Now everything is ran by the numbers. I feel like we need the element of random kind of added back into the game and make winning and not losing daily challenge mean something moving forward. So I would say Free Agents and just Free Agents in general. If I just, yeah. So yeah. Thank you for being here, Misty Min. Thank you. Hey. USA 2 is gonna fly by. If CBS is hurting because of the writer's strike, I could bet you they're gonna really like elongate that. I think they're like sitting there going like, man, hopefully can we make this finals like 200 hours? We did 100 hours on the MTV. Can we make it 200 hours? And no Sudoku. We need everybody to keep going. Oh man. Yeah. All right. I love this. Let's keep it going. I still want another Rivals. You and me both. That would be great if we could have another Rivals. I mean, Final Reckoning was technically another Rivals, but it wasn't. But yeah, we can do this. Okay, do you have any predictions for the next season of the main show? I have no clue. I couldn't tell you. I've been hearing the rumors that there's not going to be a ton of vets. So maybe there could be like a second chances kind of season. I don't know. But I hope season 40, like season 40, I'm hoping is an all champ season. And I wonder if that's why they're going to make 39 the way it is without all the vets. And to me, hearing that rumor makes me kind of flutter inside. That, oh, well, yeah, we could have a ton of new people or people that have never won be on a season together without a whole bunch of champs, and maybe that'll open the door for some new gameplay, some new strategy, some new bonds, and boom, just get some new champs. All right, I'll keep on going through the chat as we go through this chat, but let's now get into the first element, and that is going to be the cast. Let me actually bring up the cast. Now, a cast can make or break the season, in my opinion. And the contestants on this season, I think before the season began, really had everybody's minds kind of going all over the place of what are the possibilities that could happen on this season. I mean, you got winners from an MVP slash challenge spinoff. You have legends who are basically like all of them are champs. Only a handful are not. You have Nelson, Naya, Theo, and Kellyanne. And I think that's it. Only 4 MTV legends aren't outright champs, whether they're from All Stars or the main season of the challenge. And then you have basically all of the MVPs are champs except for Argentina. And then half of the other MVPs are just really good players from their respective seasons. And taking a look at this cast and just trying to figure out what the possibilities before the season, I think this cast is stacked. I mean, honestly, given an option of 1 through 5, I mean, it's hard to argue how good this casting was. Now, of course, we could add in other players or wish that there would have been other players. But I just feel like this cast was so interesting. And the other aspect of this, I would love to get that car commercial out of here. But honestly, I think that what this cast had lent itself to is adding in some of the players that we've only seen recently on All Stars, adding them back into the fold of the modern challenge era and seeing how they would play around all the friendship alliances, the vacation alliance, and all this other stuff. And honestly, some of them rose to the occasion and some of them kind of faltered a little bit. At this point, if you would like to give your rating of the cast for the World Championships out of 5, 1 being bad, like the worst ever, and 5 being the best ever, please leave that in the chat and we will go over it. And I will keep on putting up everything and try to make mental notes of all of the math and give a respective score out of that. Honestly, it's pretty, of course, spoilers if nobody has watched it who is in the chat. I mean, Jordan was always going to be like, this duo was always going to be downright nasty. I thought Tori and Danny coming in second place, really, really strong. Nobody would have seen Troy and Casey since they were partnered up with other people. But I mean, yes, and Emily was such a strong duo. Darrell and Kiki was a likable, strong duo. I mean, out of all the casts, there are always certain people that the audience will see as a layup group, as an easy out. And I think it was harder to like come to terms with who was distinctively a layup or could be labeled as layup. Now, I mean, I think we could all expect coming into it that the Argentina folks would have been the first ones to kind of be like, I don't know, to be targeted for pretty much obvious reasons that they were going to be on the outs. But having Claudia come in last place, going up against Kiki and losing, they were now fighting an uphill battle. But I mean, I like Benha. Benha and Jody were a dysfunctional duo, but come on, they were doing great. I mean, look how many people Benha, like, after seeing 3 straight Argentina players leave and him being able to make it all the way up here amongst this group, I mean, is a testament to him and Jody being able to compete, their social game, as well as just downright playing in their hearts. So I don't know. I really liked everybody on this cast. This cast was pretty decent. All right, let me go up to the top to see some of your ratings and reasonings. Ba, 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 ba. All right, here we go. Let's just start from here. Lucas gives it a 4.5 out of 5. That's huge. 4 out of 5. Missing Kara and CT. That is true. 4.1 out of 5. A 5. Wow, 5 out of 5 from Gwibble Gabble. I hope I said that correctly. Wow, 4. 3.5 is the lowest so far, and I can understand where you're coming from, but 3.5 out of 5 is still really good. 4 out of 5, 4. I think 4 is winning so far. Ooh, Asia coming in with the lowest ranking so far with 3 out of 5. But 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. I feel like the 4 out of 5s have got it. If we start taking the averages, I mean, ooh, and then whoa. Definitely 4 out of 5 for the cast. It's not casting's fault that the vets annoyed the hell out of me. You and me both. You and me both, chasing K Brene. I definitely agree with you. 4 out of 4.5. I was gonna say 4 out of 5, but it's 4.5. 4.7 out of 5, which is still huge. I mean, did you just give it a 5? Now you're it's slowly losing ground with Gabble over here. 5, bring back Jody, Kendall, Brad, and Nehemiah. I mean, Brad was an alternate. We could have had Brad on this season. And then we also had Jenny West just laying in wait for somebody to get eliminated from the vet side. So, I mean, what could have been? I mean, we could have had Jenny on here. We could have had Brad on here, which could have been super interesting. I wonder how the game would have changed. 3.8 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Ooh, Jared coming in with a really low score of 2. All good competitors, all boring. Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah. Oof. 1 out of 5 refuses to compete / lame looking final. Okay, I can see where you're talking about refusal to compete. I think that's more so on the vet side. But yeah, I could see that. I don't know if the final was lame. I did hear there was a ton edited out, which makes the edit seem really awkward. So I can totally understand where you're coming from, where the final just seemed really, what was this? I agree. Wes and Zara left too soon, in my opinion, but it was kind of Wes's fault. It was kind of Wes's fault. All right, so we have a lot of people who have said 4, 4.5, 3, and 5 out of 5. So I'm going to say, casting 5 out of 5 after 3 out of 5. Okay. Dreadful Ruby says 4. So without that taking into account, I think that averages out to about a 4, which is stellar, in my opinion. I am actually going to be releasing over the course of next week. I'll be releasing a 3-part series of me ranking and reviewing every single season of the challenge 1 through 38. I mean, I'm not doing a tier list. I'm doing like legit. Here's a 3, here's 38, here's 37, and I'm going all the way up to 1 and giving my reasonings why I put everybody there. And I do these rankings myself. And I'll tell you right now, not a lot of the casting gets, in my opinion, that high of a casting. And I kind of agree that it is, I think, pretty stellar, a really good cast. I felt like, at least in the beginning of the season, it was actually really decent. Like, everybody came to play. Everybody was excited. I am hoping for no more teams. I hate team format. I'm with you, Dylan. I hate team formats. Hello, Cash Wash. Welcome for being here. Thank you for being here. Welcome for you being here. But yeah, I think that this casting was really, really strong. I think it also lends itself that they were all spin-offs that they came from, that we got to see them play a challenge like season. It's not like they're coming from The Bachelor and they're not coming from Love Island or anything like that, to where we had no idea what they could bring to the game. And I felt like people, at least from the beginning, was bringing it. And then at a certain point, it started to get steadily decline pretty fast, you know. The island better be number 1 in my rankings. Number 1, or are you talking about like the first one I talk about? But yeah, so I agree with everybody. So we give we all agree, or at least by, I would say, majority who I looked at and focused on, as well as my own feelings, I would give this cast a 4 out of 5. I thought that they really brought something. I really wish that art. Honestly, I really dislike the execution of a lot of the spin-offs slash how quickly they try to get this world championship out, because I felt like Argentina was at such a disadvantage. Granted, they would have, I mean, I don't want to give any spoilers away because, but they would have only had really one champion anyways. But the top two finishers of that season weren't even on this season because of contractual stuff, because they were exhausted. They would have had to go from their finale straight into the world championship. And they were like, I can't do that. Everybody else has had time. The USA people were able to just chill out. Everybody was able to just chill out for the longest time since their season was put out super early and was completely different than the other spin-offs and even the Challenge 38. And then everything else kind of fell into place. It was just weird. It was just a weird situation how they did all of that. And I just felt like maybe we could have had a lot better competition if, say, everybody was on equal playing field and had enough time to kind of, yeah. But that's really good to start off with. Casting 4 out of 5, pretty stellar, in my opinion. Free Agents are awesome, but the best final is still War of the Worlds. 2 parts and so long. It was, yeah. I mean, War of the Worlds 1 was grueling. I mean, I just rewatched it recently, and it was rough. I mean, that's one final like I wouldn't even want to even test. I wouldn't even want to test myself on that. That is like so scary stuff. Wow. Thank you so much, Julie's Heart, for the super chat train. Thank you so much for the $10. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here and being a part of the chat tonight. All right. So that's one down, and that is the cast. Now, let's go on to. Wait, okay, I'm still sharing it. Let's go on to the dailies. Pretty easy to go on to the dailies. All right. So the dailies. I'm counting the qualifier as a daily challenge, but qualifier, chain game, gates of hell, flying around, Rocket Man, tunnel time, ripcord roulette, highway hijacking, points break, downfall, and the final challenge is just a final. So we're going straight from downfall. If you would like to put your 1 through 5s now, you can, but I'm going to talk about these so far. So to me, we just talked about these and kind of graded them on my Patreon, on patreon.com/angelcakevids. And honestly, we all agreed that the qualifier was like one of the best daily challenges that they had. They tested all of the MVPs on everything. It meant something. Everybody showed up for it, showed out for it, except for maybe Tristan, who kind of really was not doing so hot on it. After that, I personally liked flying around. Aesthetically, I thought it was one of the better daily challenges. And also, it was like the hallmark of the daily challenges that we had. I thought that one was really good. After that, it starts to lose some steam for me. I thought Chain Game was a pretty good one to start off with everybody being in pairs. Gates of Hell could have been better. I thought that one could have been awesome, but the gates for the second round went so quickly, like really, really quickly. I was ready to see people like slide in like they're Indiana Jones or something for 6 rounds, but it was everybody made it to the first initial gate, and then it was 6 people made it to the second round, and then the third round everybody made it in, and then we had a winner by the 4th round. What is that? What? The trivia challenge could have been better with ripcord roulette. Tunnel time was, I think, honestly, the one of the worst. Not Rocket Man, but tunnel time was awful, and downfall was also really bad. But I blame the execution / I guess the format as well. So I guess downfall and tunnel time was like the worst for me. And I thought points break was pretty good. I agree with who The Transformer one was, oh man, I forgot about that one. Yeah, highway hijacking. Whoa, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I agree with BBG95 that I thought Points Break was pretty decent, and it was really close. For Jordan and Kaz have to doing an extra lap after picking up the wrong puzzle piece, and they were only like a half a second behind and getting second place behind Emily and Yes. I thought that was really, really good. Pretty stellar. But yeah, the Transformer one, I forgot about the Transformer one. So freaking stupid. Really, really bad. Let's see. 3.5 out of 5. I didn't like that they did 3 swimming challenges back to back. I mean, out of all the swimming challenges / water challenges, I mean, Emily was only able to win one, which I think could be pretty disappointing. Narissa says solid 4. They were great and remind me of some of the older fun challenges. I agree with that. I can see that. I don't know if I would necessarily go all the way to 4, but I can see where you're coming from. That some of them did seem pretty cool and old school a little bit. Joanne's coming in with a 3, 2, 2.5, 2, 3 from Ryan over here. 3 out of 5 from Sudani Speaks. The better dailies were in the first few episodes. Too much water at the end. 1,000% agree with you on this one. 1,000% agree with you. 4 out of 5 for the dailies from Snakes. Really cool. Trivia was ridiculous. I totally agree. The trivia was awful. It was really, really awful. 1.5. Well, at least it wasn't true or false. I will say that. At least it wasn't true or false. 1.5. I really wanted to see more physical dailies, bring back the times. I want to know rankings. Agreed. That's another thing that I think they failed with flying around is that they didn't show the third round. Like, why not show the third round? Troy and Amber went into that last heat down -7, yet they didn't get in the bottom 2 places, and somehow Darrell and Kiki beat out Justy and Bananas, who had like 12 or 14 points. I want to know the final scores. I want to see how impressive these scores were and how many people sank instead of just knowing the first 2 rounds and then the last round. Like, they could have showed it at any point after announcing the winners, yet they didn't show anything, which was pretty disappointing in my opinion. 2.5 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5, another 2.5. I feel like the 2.5s / 2 range is where everybody's kind of being at. I do want to share where my what happened and with the hide comment with my with the Patreon this past week. Okay, that was weird. Here we go. Let's go with the here. Boop. So we did it in the rounds of loved it, liked it, just okay, needs to be tweaked, and flopped. And as we can see, the qualifier was the only one that got a full 5 points for loved it. Chain Game got liked it. Rocket Man and Points Break got just okay. And then everything else kind of fell below the cool line over here. But if we take an average, giving 5 to loved it, liked it, just okay. Give 5 to loved it, 4 to liked it, just okay got 3, and these 2 get 2 and 1. The average came out to a 2.3, which is pretty on par with how the chat feels about all the dailies as well. So I think we're all on a pretty good basis here, right here. Oh, Sen Poppy, thank you again for another donation. 2 out of 5. If you really look back at past challenges, these were boring and not too challenging. Why not more hard puzzle challenges like the one Jody and Brad won in All Stars 2? I agree. That one was really hard now that you mention it. I think the biggest disappointment for me was the ripcord roulette, because Jody and Benha lost without even getting to answer a single question. I don't know how you could change that trivia challenge to be better. Maybe if you get a question wrong, you have to pull a ripcord instead of sabotaging, but they didn't even get to answer a single question, which is so sad, which is so ridiculous. Thank you again, Sen Poppy, for that donation. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I just don't understand why people don't train more for things like swimming. Once you've been on the show for a little bit, it's kind of silly. Like, Tori can't ride a bike. What? I am pretty shocked that, like, I don't know. Like it's surprising that so many of these spinoffs have bike elements, yet Tori has made it to how many finals on the main season and never had to know how to ride a bike? Yeah. I mean, I can't. I guess I can't say anything else because my bike got sold when I was in like 4 years old before I moved, and then I never got another bike. I never liked to be outside, so I stopped. But it's not like I wouldn't know to like. Maybe I should go ride a bike. Maybe just training in the gym on a cycling machine or doing a spin class on a stationary bike isn't enough, you know? Maybe I will have to use this. So yeah, editing for the final was horrible. Yeah, maybe we should do that as well for the final as well. So that'd be pretty cool. Ooh, Troy's in the chat. Welcome, Troy. I would have liked the dailies to be harder. Oh, that's coming from a person, a challenger, a champion in Troy who did these dailies, and he's saying, "Give me your best shot, challenge." That's what he's saying. So thank you for being here, Troy, and saying that the challenge could be more challenging. Yes, but thank you for being here. I really really appreciate it. All right. Let's go to the eliminations. The eliminations this season. Actually, let me go share that screen as well, and we can go over all the. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Let's go over these eliminations. All right, we got some classic eliminations in here, which I love to see. So you got the pole wrestle with Kiki and Claudia. Sad that Nathan wasn't able to keep on performing. You got tether brawl. You got oiled up Herculean strength. We missed out on an elimination because of Grant's injury. Lock, stack, and barrel between Kaz and Jordan, Justine and Bananas, where I thought that this would. I mean, come on now. Can we get a physical elimination when you have two strong teams of these caliber going up against each other? Spin me around with Troy and Casey, Benha and Jody. Hands off with Kiki and Darrell. I mean, look how much. Look at all this green here. I mean, Australia was given the business, being sent in so much as of late. But hands off, breakthrough, and hall brawl. 1 through 5. How did you feel about these eliminations this season? I feel like you can't go wrong with a pole wrestle and a hall brawl to have these to be in the mix. You got tether brawl, which I think was one of the weaker ones. Herculean strength could have been better, but I think because of the two teams that were facing off against each other in it, it didn't last as long and it wasn't as impactful as it could have been. Lock, Stack, and Barrel was pretty good. I thought the ending to Lock, Stack, and Barrel was pretty fun because that was when everybody knew what was wrong with Bananas and Justine's puzzle, and Bananas, you could tell, was legit pissed about everybody knowing but him / everybody knowing and not telling him. So that was really kind of fun to see. Oiled Up was all right. Yeah, it was all right. But hands off was a really good one in my opinion. Breakthrough was pretty impressive by Troy and Casey getting that win, and then hall brawl is a hall brawl. You know, I mean, come on now. And also that matchup was incredible. Troy and Casey versus Emily and Yes in a hall brawl. Like, come on now. I mean, that was such good pairing. Sometimes when you get a hall brawl, and when I used to go over the hall brawls and rank them all, which is a video that I did, sometimes you can have this like way off kilter matchup and it just absolutely dissolves anything. Like, no, like it's not even helpful, you know? It's not even fun to watch at a certain point. But this one was really gripping. I remember getting up at the edge of my seat, just being like, let's go. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one, YouTube Bearcat. Oiled up as a daily instead of an elimination. That's an idea. That should have been the case. That's awesome. I totally agree with that. Yeah. How long have I been listening? Come on now. Only 40 minutes. But yeah, that would have been a really good. That's a great point. I totally agree with that. But so let's go in there. Thank you, Sue Becker, for the donation of $9.99. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Let's go up here. Okay, here we go. I finally find it. Kiki versus Claudia was impeccable. I mean, talk about a first elimination of the season and Kiki doing the splits to beat Claudia in a pole wrestle. I thought that was stellar. Yeah. I wish we had Not So Fast this season. Me too. Me too. Not the triangles though that we saw for majority of everywhere. I like the cage. I like the cage that we got in like Invasion of the Champions. That was like my favorite. Welcome, Kirk. The dailies were weak, but I think they are dialing back as they were given a lot of injuries in the dailies lately. True. I mean, I would prefer them being a little bit safer. But I do think that they were a little weak, and some people were given some answers, I believe, towards the end of it. So yeah. We got a 2 from Dylan out of 5, 4 from Chris for the limbs. I like the classics, and the new ones were interesting. 4 from Rodrigo. Oh, the 4s are taking an early lead here. But Snakes comes in with a 3.1. Some of the eliminations were good, but some of them, like oiled up, felt like something you'd see from Big Brother. I mean, true. I mean, we had Casey. I was about to be like, well, we did have some Big Brother. Not so much, I guess. And actually, we've had so this is funny. Spinoffs that had a ton of Big Brother players who played, or a ton of spinoffs that had, from the 4 spinoffs, there was a good amount of players who played Big Brother in their respective countries, played on that season, yet none of them were picked to be on this cast, which is funny. It's really, really funny. I mean, didn't a third of the Challenge USA season 1 was Big Brothers, yet none were here. You have a whole bunch of people, I guess you could call or put under the case of legend, I guess. I don't know. Just people from MTV who play Big Brother did not get called up for this, and the other countries didn't have any Big Brothers on here too. I mean, I would have loved to have seen Marley on this season, but I mean, this is like the first season in a long time we haven't had a ton of Big Brother players on here, or the same Big Brothers. That's just really funny to me now that I'm thinking about it. Eliminations were miles ahead of the dailies, 3.5 miles ahead. 2.5 maybe out of 5, maybe, Andrea. 3.5, 4. Asia saying 4 out of 5 for the elimination. Was pretty entertained for the most part. I agree. 4 out of 5. All right. Ooh, 2 out of 2.5. It was more of a stalemate that I didn't like. Oh, all the stalemates. I agree. I mean, I wouldn't put that on the elimination, but I agree that we shouldn't have had all those stalemates. But there's a lot of people saying 4 and up. 4 and up. Look at all these 4s. So I think the 4s, maybe the 3.5 4s, maybe. Well, no, I think the 4s have it. I think the 4s, solid 2 on eliminations historically. None of them were very close or particularly exciting to watch. Wow. Had me on the edge of my seat. Wow, the bananas elimination. I mean, that was kind of, that was close. Troy has a question for everybody. Is it what the elimination is that makes it a good elimination, or who's in it, or a combination of both? I would say combination of both, but also I think that just having the elimination matchups being closer, or maybe an underdog situation, kind of like the paddle brawl that you were in, that people show a fight in them, that makes it a lot more exciting. Like, you want to see a good matchup. I mean, nobody really wants to see, what is it, the Oppenheimer and season 25 free agents between, or no, let's just go balls in from free agents. I don't know why I have free agents on the brain. I guess because I answered the question, but it's like free agents where we have Kahada versus Leroy, or Jasmine versus Laurel, where like, well, this isn't going to be exciting. Like, balls in normally is an exciting classic elimination matchup, or an elimination game. But if the matchup is completely skewed, then it's kind of like, well, this is what's the point, kind of thing. But I think it's a little bit of both. I think you want a good elimination, and you want a decent matchup that you could see like who's going where. But I want to see what everybody else has to say. I would love to know everybody's opinion about this. So please answer Troy's question down in the chat, and I will also talk about it as well. Troy, the actual elimination and the matchup. So a combination of both. It needs to be an interesting elim, but it is not fun if the matchup is so uneven. Completely agree. A lot of people are saying both. It's a combination of both for me. I need to see the fight, and it needs to be challenging. I think this is where I don't know why this popped into my head, but for some reason, when I think of like mismanaged or like kind of landslide elimination wins, I'm thinking of the Challenge 37 for some reason, where people are helping slash it's not very close in a lot of those. And I think that's where it just completely falls apart. And I think that's why that season doesn't feel as satisfying because of the matchups as well as the results of how everything went, and it wasn't that thrilling. I don't know if I'm correct on that. In my opinion, the elimination itself should be more important than who is in it. Makes for more exciting competition regardless of who competes. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of people are saying combination of both, which I think is pretty interesting. I think that's a good idea, both as well. Combo for me. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying combos. Now, let's go into what the Patreon said of what the ranking should be for these eliminations. And right now, you have in the Love It, you have Pole Wrestle, Hall Brawl, and Hands Off. Then you have Liked It with Lock, Stack, and Barrel, Spin Me Around, Breakthrough. Had potential, but matchup was bad, was Oiled Up and Herculean Strength, and disappointment was Tether Brawl. And then nothing. This was what was surprising to me, that nothing was a flop, according to my Patreon. And at the end of the day, when we grouped everything together and took an average, it came out to a 3.89, which I think is pretty on par with how everybody kind of graded the eliminations now. So I think I mean, congratulations. We're all a good amount of us are agreeing. I mean, even the 3.5 people, we're kind of close to that as well. We're not over the top, I think, with how we're viewing all these eliminations and everything. So yeah, I think this is good. Definitely a mix of both. Eric says it's a combination, definitely a mix of both. Hall brawls, etc., can be fun to watch or completely absurd. That's 100% correct. I think there's no in between. It's either it's a good matchup or it's just like, all right, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this absolute this this NFL player tackling a toddler at the end of the day. Here we go. Sen Poppy says, bring back Exile, LOL. I love the compares freaking out about who is coming back and no cheating. That is true. I'm not a huge fan of the Exile. Now, don't get me wrong. Fresh Meat and Fresh Meat 2 were, to me, pretty decent seasons, pretty good seasons. I don't want to give too much away because the rankings will be coming out all through next week. But I wasn't a huge fan of the Exiles because it was just, I don't know, a little weird in my opinion. But I do agree that there was no cheating. There was no helping. People could let you know, like, hey, this is what you could look out for in the Exiles, but there's no help. And I almost think that maybe they should adopt that and have everybody have a viewing, like maybe get a house. What about this, guys? Hear me out. Everybody, hear me out. What if there was a point where they got a challenge house and the house had a movie theater in it? And that's where everybody would watch the elimination. The two people would get into a van. The van would drive away, take them to the elimination ring, and everybody just sits in the movie theater and watches it on like a big silver screen, watching the elimination happen. You can't yell, but everybody can still root and holler for who they want to see. They can have this reactionary to it, but they are on their own. The elimination people are on their own. Like, I think that is pretty cool. They've never really done that before, and I think that would be pretty interesting. Do you think that would be an interesting idea? Let me know down in the comment section below or in the chat, and I will see if that is the dumbest thing anybody has ever heard or if that would be pretty decent. Or at least try it. I mean, it may not be great because there's no like hooting and hollering and being like, they're being like, yeah! But you can also have that reaction in the movie theater. It's not like they're just sitting at home kind of like twiddling their thumbs being like, when are we going to see who came back? Like, at least they would be able to watch it and then be excited about what's going on, you know? But yeah, we'll see. Thank you, Rodrigo, for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the extra support. Yeah. Agree. Thank you. That's surprising. We are a critical bunch over on the Patreon. I mean, 3.89 is pretty good. Over here, we're saying 3.85 and between 3.5 and 4. I mean, that's pretty close. So yeah, we're doing good. I like the Dirty 30 version of Not So Fast. I agree. What? No, I'm not hating. It's just not my favorite. It's just not my. I mean, I'll take Exile over Vote Outs any day. Like, come on now. Yeah. Rodrigo, thank you again for another donation. I really thank you so much. I wish they brought back Not So Fast. It would have been a great elimination for this season, especially with them being tethered together. It reminds me of all the spin-offs as well as the Battle of the Seasons 2012, where they were kind of having to be paired up together. I think that's always fun. And it would be really good as a team communication and strategy. So they should have done it. They did it in like every spinoff, so why not do it here? Is this to my idea of the movie theater in the house? Because I hope so. I hope so. I'm gonna say yes. Nope. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you don't like it. I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but at least give it like one season try. It's just like one season try. It might not work. It might not be great, but at least we wouldn't have these like these helping from the crowd and everything, but people can still be involved in being excited to see their friends or their enemies go home or win. So I don't know. What season was that? I don't remember. Please let me know what question this was or to me. I mean, if we're talking about the balls that I was talking about, that was free agents. I've been using a lot of free agents talk. Willie thinks that's a good idea. Yes, 1,000% agree. This is patting my ego. I hope everybody's saying they agree with me, so that's cool. I need that right now in my life. Oof. Norma is not a fan. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep my ideas to myself. Like Nani versus Ashley in War of the Worlds 2, no one helped them in that eliminate. That is true. I mean, that was kind of Exile-ish, but it was 1v1 and it was just a race up the mountain. I you know what? I like that one. That was pretty good. Danny versus Theo in a hall brawl limb. You couldn't tell me who would win that one. You couldn't tell me who would win that one. I would that would be incredible to watch these two titans go at it. I don't know how many zeros that is, but Dylan likes whatever I'm putting out on the table. Thank you, Dylan. They can be there, but no helping, just cheering. Helping is DQ. They're just you can't. It's not going to work out that way. I just don't think that it's going to work out that way. You can't. I don't think you can tell people to not cheer or not say anything. I mean, they did pretty good on Lock, Stack, and Barrel, but I think everybody had their feet in two different camps. That it was that they were not willing to help one / to not help the other. But you just if they're going to be there, you know they're going to help. I like that idea. Thank you, Demetria. Or do an endurance style where the contestants don't know who's coming back. Endurance style. Shout out to Endurance. I used to watch that. So I wish I had more Endurance to watch. I've missed those days. You probably actually get some commentary instead of just yelling, which if I were competing, I'd find highly distracting. That's you know what? I feel the same way. I hated being cheered for, like hearing from the crowd, but I agree. If we could get some actual commentary from the or a play-by-play from the people in the crowd when watching at the movie theater, that would be cool. I love that. And then cut it off right before the win, so it's like The Apprentice, where you don't know who went home, and it's a big reveal when they come back. That could work. I love that idea. Thank you. It's not gonna be put into anything, but yeah. Because I'm tired of them getting help. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people at this point. Just is not happening. We had a movie theater in the house. What? Did they show any movies? I want to know. If they have them, they should just do what? They had a movie theater in the house? They had a movie theater in the house? I didn't remember them seeing it. I mean, it's not a surprise that they had a movie theater in that house. That house looked really nice, but I mean, if we I feel like every house they go to has a movie theater. Like, let's do this. Put up a streaming, get up a Twitch channel. Let's get this going challenge. But wow, a movie theater in the house. Did you guys watch any movies? Were you allowed to watch any movies? Were there any movies in the house? Kind of want to know this. I like your idea, Drew. It's a perfect middle ground. That's what I was thinking. I don't want to leave everybody out of it completely, but it would be fun to have like some crowd interaction, like not crowd interaction, but the people get to watch the elimination to get that feeling and to feel their reactions, but also not have them help. But yeah. Welcome, Dana. OMG, just came from work. I just came to work from home, so I'm catching your live. I live in Hawaii, and it's only 1:52 p.m. Only 1:52. It's like 8 p.m. And I'm getting ready for wanting to watch some hockey tonight. Go Panthers! Am I right? Florida Panthers here. Thank you, Julie's Heart, for another donation. Drew, I appreciate the work that you put into this channel. Thank you so much. I have so much more work I'm going to be putting into this channel, especially if we're going to get a little bit of a break. I'm looking to do a ton of content, hopefully some collabs with other content creators. Hopefully for USA2, I've been talking to a certain couple of collaborators and also maybe doing a trivia night in July, which could be very exciting, as well as a ton of videos that I will be doing each and every week. And hopefully I can get some more collabs to do like podcasts / debates with other content creators, like which spinoffs should count, which spinoffs shouldn't count. Should we even count spinoffs at all for like challenge resumes and championships? So I think we could have a lot of fun times during this break. So hopefully it can work out. But thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for the appreciation. I'm thankful. No movies. Boo. No movies. It was in the very first episode where the MVPs voted. Oh, that's right. That's right. That was wow. And then that was the only time they used it because everybody else just sat around the table. Wow. I didn't even know that was a movie theater. I just thought that was like a random basement, like a wine cellar or something. Wow. Man. That is such a good point. They got a movie theater in the house and they didn't use it to promote the Transformers movie. Boo. How could they not? Why not just give everybody like quick access to the Transformers movie and then do like Big Brother used to do and be like, whoa, that was a really fun movie. I loved it. You know, I think that could have been fun. But yeah. All right. Let's go into the next one. You know what? Let's do the finals. I wasn't originally going to have everybody talk about the finals or grade the finals, but out of a grade of 1 to 5, 5 being the best finals ever, I don't know why I did that off camera. 5 being the best finals ever and 1 being the worst finals ever. What do we think? What do we think of the finals of this season? Okay, from what we got to see, it was just a train ride to then run 4-mile loops 4 times and 4 checkpoints, and then get back on the train to not sleep / but get to eat, and then get off the train to then run to a bike, then run up mountain, down mountain, and back. What do we think of these finals from a scale of 1 being the complete worst finals ever in the show's history to a 5 being the best finals? And I don't think we're going to get close to a 5, but what do we think? We didn't do this in my Patreon. I don't know why we didn't. I guess I just didn't even think about it. But what does everybody think? What Troy said on the Nullified Take channel from this past Saturday, which if you have not gone and seen Troy talk about the finals on the Nullified Take channel's YouTube channel, he talked about a ton of stuff that was cut out, where there was like there was puzzles, there was a kayaking part, there was a swim part, there was a puzzle, there was so much cut out. And we're all wondering why. As he was talking, I was like, what? Why would they cut that out? Why not make this an hour-long episode? Why not make this like over an hour-long episode to finish off the season? Why not make this 2 parts? I mean, it was just weird. It was weird hearing how much was left on the editing cutting room floor at the end of the day. But thank you to Troy, who gave so much insight, as well as I think Danny probably gave a whole bunch of insight over on the Challenge Mania podcast episode that just released, I think, yesterday. I still got to listen to all of that, but I'm sure that there is a ton of stuff that needs to go on there. But oh yeah. And Jordan said in an Entertainment Weekly that there was a canoeing part. So they cut out a ton of stuff, a ton of stuff. I think Danny said in a tweet that they cut out like a third of the finals. Why? Why are we are on a streaming network. We are on your streaming network. Why not just put all of it in? It's not like we're trying to fit everything into a half an hour to an hour of TV with commercials. Yes, if you're not paying for the premium price on Paramount Plus, you're still getting commercials. But even then, I think people who are still having to watch commercials would still want to watch more of the finals and everything that these competitors are going for or having to be put through than seeing such an abridged version that makes your head scratch on the second watch, going like, what was that part of it? What was, I don't, what, how did we get here? That went on for far too long. I shouldn't have had my voice go up that high the whole time. All right, let's see what everybody says about these finals, and I'll try to keep it in my mind how we're going. Yeah, 3. They cut too much. Exactly. Bruno says finals with a 3 out of 5. A 3 out of 5. A meh out of 5. That was really funny. 3 out of 5 for Kyle. I think the 3s are getting it right now. 3s are just getting it. 3 out of 5. My goodness. 2 from Dreadful Ruby, strictly based on lack of transparency. Like Sarah was super sick. Casey's IV situation, a bunch of stuff cut out. Big fail. I agree with that. You know what? I can see where you're coming in at a 2. I think that's a strong 2 right there. 3 out of 5. It was decent. 2, 3 out of 5. Organically would give finals 4 out of 5, but knowing that what wasn't shown is a 2.5 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5. I feel like the 3/2.5s have it, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair. And I think what's more frustrating to me is that it is on their own streaming site. Like you could make this as long as you want. You can just make it as long as you want. Make it 2 episodes. Like, why cut out so much? And why is it called the Fear Express if there's nothing fearful on it besides not sleeping and the shot callers, which is still kind of weird as well when I think about it. 3 out of 5. 4. I would have liked to see the parts that were edited out. I agree. Totally agree. And I think the 2.5 2.5s get it. I'm gonna make a solid 2.5 for Mark, and we're gonna stick with 2.5. 2 was so disappointed, didn't even watch your recap yet. Oh, the season's final was so bad, it's hurting my views. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. No worries about that. Just get to it whenever you want to, or it's fine if since you know what the results are. It's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna say 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, I think, is pretty solid. And we'll go from there. All right, let's go to. I guess we'll go to drama and entertainment is like the same thing. So you know what? Let's go to drama and entertainment. Let's just group those into 2. It's kind of weird. But let's go into drama/entertainment because I think they're just one and the same. What would you give this season? 1 being the season was super boring, the drama was not good, to 5, this season was the most entertaining ever, and then the drama was super good. Wow, words are failing me. Words are failing me. So between 1 through 5, let's talk about the finale. The show flopped once Kellyanne left. It's tough not to agree with you. I don't think it was like a complete flop because there were still some really good moments after she left, but she was serving. 3, Tori was there. 2 for editing. 2.5, that was lame. Would have been a lot better if it was solo. Oh, you're talking about the finals, I'm sure of. The train was unnecessary. 2 out of 5, 80 hours to get the final challenge world, the 50-minute finale. Yeah, that was pretty rough. Okay, I think this is where the drama starts. Oh, so 2, 2, 3, 2.5. I feel like we're getting around 2.5 to 3 area, or 2.5 to 2 area. 3, we got another 3. 2 from Cash Wash Wash. 2, Kellyanne and Danny saying he'd pinched the crap out of Tori was the best drama they had. I mean, there was a lot of burn voting too. I think the strategy was a little on some spots. How do you have 3 people at the final voting and they just all agree to stalemate it? Does nobody want to run these finals? Why are we like not breaking deals and throwing votes on people and being like, no, I'm gonna vote for them. I want to make it to the final. I'm securing my spot. You can go. But everybody just agreed to just burn vote on themselves, which made no sense to me. Absolutely no sense to me. Illogical times 1,000. I did not understand that. I was like, I guess nobody really cares to want to go. I guess not. 2 out of 5. We had a lot more tension in terms of voting this season, though. That's true. 3.5 and entertainment 1. So let's say 2.5. That's a good way of putting it. I didn't know if we could like mush it together, but I kind of agree. 4 out of 5. This was the most drama / entertainment we've gotten in a while. You're not wrong in certain aspects. 1. 3 from Chanel. Oh man, 3. 1 out of 5. Drama and entertainment, as the only drama was the vote in Australia versus themselves. That was rough. It was rough seeing Australia just completely kind of like decimate each other at the end. It was really sad. They were like the strongest team leading up to like midway through this season, and then all of a sudden it just kind of started crumbling. Drama 1 out of 5 from Bruno. Kahuna, welcome in, Kahuna. Thank you for being here. 4. Drama was great. You started with Kellyanne and John A. You had Tori versus Danny all season, the Aussie dissension, and the Danny Sarah led faction. Constantly friction with legends. You know what? That's a really great point and eloquently put. I can't say that word, so I'm going to refrain from ever saying that ever again on a live. But yeah, that was greatly put. Thank you so much for that input, and thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Patricia, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5. Oh man, I think I'm going to put that is just boring. I'll say 3. I'll say a 3. I'll give it a 2.5, 3, 2.8. 2.8. Drama was better than the main season. I totally agree here. Drama was better than the main season. Agreed. All right. So is that it? Is that the last one? The last thing I want us all to just put, and you could put Y's or you could put an N in the chat. But oh yeah, that's a great point. Theo and a lot of people on the other podcasts, like the Challenge Official podcast and other podcasts like the Bananas podcast and some other podcasts that people have like shown up on, had said that Theo was really stirring the pot, was really trying to like get chaos rolling in the house, and he was not shown anything. He was not shown at all. So I think that should take a hit to the entertainment level. So yeah. All right. Now, let's go over one quick thing, and that is, how apt are you to rewatching this season? So, say like it's a couple of months down the line, and you're like, I kind of in the mood for the challenge. If somebody suggested, hey, let's watch the Challenge World Championship, would you be apt to rewatching it? You can say Y for yes and for no, or you could just write yes or no, I guess. In my own shorthand on my rankings, I put a Y or an N because I didn't want to keep on writing Y and N. So how apt would you be to rewatching the Challenge World Championship? Not right now. Not like, hey, let's start right now. We're maybe like a few months down the line. If somebody suggested, hey, I'm kind of getting into the challenge, can we watch do you want to watch the World Championship? Oh man, ends. They focus too much on the votes. I mean, it came down to the votes though. I mean, when I talked to Troy was saying that just the seating arrangements for the votes were a huge thing, and then trying to just get all the votes together and voting, at least the seating arrangement for the voting was impactful. People were like trying to run for certain seats to not be first or last, I guess, or close to the last. So I think there was a lot of emphasis on voting, especially when you wanted something to happen or not to get your hands too dirty at the end of the day. Man, what is wrong with me? No, no need, says William. No need. Is Bartleby in here? I prefer not to. Never. Wow. Never. Demetria says never. Somebody suggested this to her and she's losing all contact with you. Don't even talk to me. If you're going to try to suggest me watching the World Championship ever again, get away. But Flower says yes. Olivia says yes. I'm sorry, I kind of butchered your name. I'm not rewatching it, says Esther. I am not. Oh my gosh. Oh, absolutely no. I just said a Y or an N, but I love people elaborating. No, says Isaac. Wow. There's some Y's. There's some Y's coming in here, but I mean, again, I guess I preferenced it. You know what? I gave so much preference saying maybe a few months down the line or a year. I didn't say a year, but a few months down the line, but maybe the recency of the season and how kind of it trailed off towards the end that people kind of were just like, no, thank you. Too soon. I mean, it said a couple months, but I guess no, not even a couple of months. Only the chain game episode. I mean, that was a good episode. I mean, are you watching the next episode 3 as well, when John A kind of like throws Kellyanne in? Wow, no, just there's like a lot of no's. Just no. let's be serious. No, thank you, Julius Hart. Smash the like if you're saying no to rewatching this season, but you're liking this live. Then yeah, give it a like. I don't know. Give it a like. Don't give it a like. It's okay. Oh baby, I'm not rewatching this. Wow, this is way off. Like I was sitting there going like, well, I guess I would rewatch it. But not anytime soon. But Arrow, this was not people's favorites. Great cast and winners and good challenges. Yeah, I think so too. But I'm not rewatching it like super soon, but not all the episodes. Okay. If I want to torture myself, my gosh. Woo. If I want to do a challenge documentary and it was necessary, I'd watch. But overall, no, I wouldn't watch it. Trust me, I totally understand that feeling. I've done that recently where I'm not super into some of the seasons, but I am rewatching them for the next challenge documentary, which I will give out another hint tonight if everybody would want me to give out another hint of who I'm doing next. Send Poppy. Thank you again for another donation. I really, really appreciate everything. Thank you so much. The only way I'd ever rewatch World Championship is if I were making content like yours. Cast was dope, but the way it played out was so stale. I can see that. That is really well put. And I kind of said that for Challenge 37. Where I'm like, yeah, if I have to do videos on it or something, I'll rewatch it. But if not, then I'm kind of like, I'm cool with not seeing it. But in my line of work of making videos for the challenge and even just reality TV, I feel like I need to keep on rewatching all these seasons like constantly to keep on like keeping it fresh in my mind. And I have not rewatched 37 ever, so I feel like I need to do that. I enjoyed the World Championship more than the US. I'd agree. There was points in this one that I was like, ooh, this is top tier. And then all of a sudden it started to like, then it was starting to like fall down. I do agree that the Aussies did carry 1000%. Ooh, no other hint. Keep it a secret. Okay. I concur. Okay. Oh, you have this? I've had this for so long, and I got it from such a weird store in my mall. Wow, why did I stop at store? I got it from a weird store at my mall that only took cash. But I was like, I need it. Your Car Dark was top tier content. Thank you so much. I really am glad that you appreciate it. I'm working tirelessly on the next documentary, and I'm hoping to make that even better than this past time. Still, I can't wait for the stop it. Don't be putting these in people's minds. Don't. Stop. That's my hint. It's not on Ninja Natalie. That's the only hint for tonight. Why do you dislike 37? I just feel like it was super long and I don't like the name. It was super long. The friendship stuff really showed its true colors during that season, and it wasn't that great. It wasn't that fun to watch in certain times, in certain elements. It's just for how much time you have to give to watching that season, the payout is not thrilling to me. So yeah. I don't know if you could call it a series. It's like a 30-minute video, you know? What series is there, you know? Fessy Doc is next. Oh man, I love everybody really thinking, really putting out their feelers and their own ideas. Yeah, this is great. All right. I think that is it. So, I want to tell everybody. I want to ask everybody now. And again, say yes or no. That's two questions. I guess I'll just say this, and it'll answer the first question, because I was going to ask, was the global competition series a success? But instead, I'll ask this. Do you want, or would you want to have another global series done where we have another 4 spinoffs and a world championship too? Now, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe redundant or weird to ask this because there is a Challenge USA 2 already planned out. But even if there is a Challenge USA 2, I don't think that necessarily means that there's going to be a world championship 2, if that makes any sense. Like, because the USA season 1 did such great ratings, especially compared to what the Challenge MTV is getting on MTV. And now that we are getting the USA 2 on CBS, but I feel like they moved it from being a Paramount Plus exclusive to CBS because of the writer's strike, that this could just be cashing in, trying to grab some of that CBS basic cable audience to be drug over to the MTV numbers and Paramount Plus numbers for subscriber account. That I don't necessarily know if that's like, I wouldn't necessarily correlate it being like, oh, USA 2 is out, oh, we're gonna get like Argentina 2 and all these other, like, I just don't think that, I don't see that correlation. But if you say yes, that this was a success, then I would if you say yes, they should do another global series where they do like another 4 spinoffs and then a world championship too, then I guess that I guess I shouldn't infer, but I would say that I would infer from that yes means that this was a success. So that's why I'm not going to ask both of those questions. So, do you think that they should do another global series to then make a second world championship? I'm going to go all the way up to C because I saw a lot of people talking. Now, what's really frustrating is that if they do another global series, they won't necessarily do like the same countries. Like, to me, and I think a lot of people on the rewatch, Challenge Australia was the best spinoff that we got. And it produced some of the best players that we got, the most rootable players that we got on this world championship season. Yet it made history. Yet it made history because the finals was seen by nobody. Heck, they pulled it from the air at one point and even pulled it from one of their websites and put it on a different website, a sister website, because I guess they didn't want it to take up the bandwidth on that. Like, why? Why take it off the one website to put it on a different? Like, it was weird. And so I feel like they mismanaged that season. The UK was a complete mess up, but that was out of their control because of the Queen's passing. But that was only like 2 weeks, Kaz said on the Challenge Official podcast this past week. And it was only 5 episodes. Argentina was mishandled because the champion wasn't able to join the World Championship season. And which one am I missing? Oh, USA. USA 2 was so weird. And the USA one was weird because it felt like a completely different season. It felt like a completely different season from a completely different time, from a completely, like, it was just weird. They played their own game while everybody else played the Challenge 38, basically. So I felt like it was mishandled in that ways. So to me, I don't think it was necessarily like a super success because of how grandeur the project was. And it kind of was the way they handled it was kind of like all over the place. But I do feel like the players that were introduced to us, the champions that were introduced to us, like Troy, like Kaz, like Kiki, like other players like Zara, and then having a ton of players coming into this season that haven't been in the mix of the modern challenge seasons as of late, like Kellyanne coming in and playing hard, John A kind of being messy, and players just playing the game. I kind of feel it. The end product of the World Championship came out better than what I had originally expected, especially with how the spinoffs were handled by themselves and how they produced them and everything. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they need to take on another World Championship. I think the spinoffs are great as a proving ground, if that makes any sense. And I will get to all the comments here very soon, but I'm kind of like on this line of thinking that I love the challenge spinoffs as a proving ground and as like an introduction to all these players. So that way, when they do come on as international players, that we actually know them. It's not like the Challenge 37 where we're being introduced to like a whole bunch of people that we've never heard from and don't know what they can do in a challenge like setting. So we're here like criticizing the casting or like super befuddled, or people aren't as enthusiastic because we have no idea what these people can do, or we don't even know what show are they from. And not to take like any, like, not to be disrespectful or anything, but kind of like I like Corey Lay, but like who would have 12 Dates of Christmas? I wouldn't have even known. I mean, it's an HBO Max, now going to be Max tomorrow, just Max, which is the dumbest streaming service name ever in my, like, what the heck? You have all of Warner Brothers at your fingertips. Just name it like Warner Brothers Plus or something. Anyways, but it's just like it's ridiculous. It's yeah. I don't know. I just feel like maybe the spinoff should be their own thing. And then from the spinoffs, grab your pool of players that we watched. Also, make these available the next day on Paramount Plus worldwide. Why are we sitting here waiting for them months ago and we can't even watch? Argentina wasn't available to watch until the day right before the World Championship start. Guess what? Not everybody's going to watch that season now, because why would we? We see who's there and we'll just be like, oh, they must have won, which they didn't. I was really surprised that they didn't win. None of the winners were there, but it was poor handling on that part. And then it's like, if you're making a global series, and this is my last thing before we go, this is my last point before we go into the comments. I'm really sorry about this, but I'm just like on a line of thinking. But if you are putting together a global competition series, why not make it available to everyone globally at the same time so we can all talk about this together, have a worldwide conversation together? We have social media, we have these apps, we have the ability to talk to people everywhere. We have Reddit, we have WhatsApp, we have Twitter, Instagram, all of these ways of talking to everybody. And you're trying to make this a global phenomenon. You're trying to make this a global show, an international spectacle, an event. Yet we like gatekeep it, probably because of the certain stations that it was on. But why can't we have it as the time goes on? One, we will watch it. If you put it on Paramount Plus, us challenge fans will watch it. But if we watch it, we will talk about it. We will get on Twitter. We will talk to people from Australia who is watching the Challenge Australia. We will talk to people from the UK who is watching UK. But when you hold on to it and then just drop it like days before a big season is about to premiere, it's like now people are rushing to try to watch these 5 episodes, these 10 episodes, when we could have been enjoying this all together as a world collective. And it just felt like a missed opportunity because it just felt like a missed opportunity. And then also, you're not freaking out when the ratings for a certain spinoff isn't doing that great. You're kind of freaking out about it. But if you would just put it on streaming, I'm sure you would see the numbers kind of being like, whoa, people are liking this. Oh, Challenge Australia is great. But I'm worried that we're not even going to see a Challenge Australia 2 if they do another World Championship 2, despite having great people and a ton of people that we never even got to see, like from Survivor and all that stuff, because the casting, we're not even going to see them because they're freaked out about the ratings that they got just from their own sample size, when everybody around the world is like, wow, the Challenge Australia is like the best spinoff. I don't know. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to table that for now. Let's go through these comments. I'm sure there's a ton of comments to go through, and then we'll start wrapping things up. Cast Rush Wash, thank you so much for the donation. The Anissa documentary. Oh, man. This is like the... Oh, I now want to make this. I'm dropping everything. I'll make it... This is the exact title, too. Oh, man. It is so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is still from the people that are saying that they would watch it or not watch it. I am okay with another global, but only if they plan it better. Exactly. I mean, we could all tell that they were not, they did not have their stuff together. I mean, the announcement came by. It felt like they didn't even know what was going on when Emily Longaretta even like put it out there to begin with, that, oh, these are where it's going to happen. And then the World Championship's going to be just the winners from the 4 spinoff. And it's going to be 2 episodes. And then after that, it's like, oh, we're changing the name. Oh, we're changing this. We're adding MTV Legends to this. And it's like, how about you just take a second to like breathe and actually think things through before you just like whip everything together and be like, oh, hopefully this is all good. Trust us. We didn't even know this was coming. Just take your time. Just take your time. Yes, I think the global has potential, and it also features... It also lends itself to what Paramount Plus wants, which they scrapped a ton of projects that they didn't think could reach international audiences. So, I mean, if they're doing a global, it fits into their business strategy and their business plan. This is interesting because I did watch, I don't know if everybody watched Physical 100 on Netflix. Instant challenge vibes, and I instantly was thinking, this is it. Like, I would like to see like all of these people be, all these competitors be into the pool and running and get some notification. Like, I would love to see a ton of the people that made it very far in Physical 100 get an invitation to a challenge spinoff or a challenge flagship show. I totally agree. Too early to tell if we get some of the world contestants in the main show. Then yes. If they don't bring back, I tell you right now, if we do not get any of these global MVPs and we never see them again, I will riot. I will riot. Like, get Troy, get Kiki, get Zara, heck, get Kaz on the season. Get them on the next season. Get them on 39. Get them on 40, 41. Like, we want to see these people back. We have now invested 2 seasons at least of them, and we have now grown to like them. I agree. My girl Gab. Yes, but with different countries than before. I could see that. Not a success rating wise, but it was amazing to have new and additional content. I definitely want it all again as a viewer. I agree, Kahuna. Thank you. Seabus. Oh yeah, let me go down a little bit more. Oh, okay, there we go. Now the chat wasn't loading up here. That's how far behind I was. Thank you, Senpapi, for another donation. Oh my gosh. please nurse your wallet back to health. But I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the support and donations tonight. Global Champs versus Vets format is the best move for the next World Championship if we get one. I mean, this season kind of showed that. I think this could be interesting. It's kind of like a Ruins kind of vibe where it's the challengers versus the champs, but instead of just challengers who always fail at winning, you get actual global champs versus vets. I'm not I'm not a huge fan of the team format, but maybe you could start off with a team format, then break it up. I don't know. You got to think about it. I'm gonna put more thought into it than some of the decision making that was put into some of these decisions here. Tastiest Taco says, thanks for another season. Thank you for all you do, Drew. Thank you so much. I mean, this is incredible. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. That is huge. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh, yes, I've been saying the new name of Max is the worst marketing decision in the last 5 years. It's so bad. It's so bad. Max? You go from HBO Max to just Max? And now every time I say Max, I think of the Goofy movie, where it's like the beginning of the movie where he's just like Max. Drew out here speaking facts. I'm sorry, I went on that long rant. I wanted to get to the comments so bad. I didn't want to keep everybody waiting, but yeah. I follow the challenge. Wow, I'm from Mozambique and I follow the challenge since season 15. Wow, that's incredible. So I agree with you, Drew. Thank you. I love when people say they agree with me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that vain. Definitely would watch Australia season before I rewatch Global. That is 1,000%. That's 1,000%. So right about all of this. They really fumbled how they handled it. I just think that they had the idea and wanted to cash in on it real quick. They were like, we got to make this. And I mean, given the timing for what we got to what they produced in such small timing, was pretty decent, but you could tell like there are some things that they probably go back and go like, I wish we could fix this. I wish we could do this, but that's with everything. But yeah, they really just flew into it. And it's just like, you could have taken some time, you could have taken some time, but I agree. I loved all the content we got. I loved all the players that we got to see, every final, all the competing. I'm not going to complain about more challenge content, more content for me to talk about, make videos on. I really had a great time going over everything with everybody throughout the seasons, and especially through this season, the Challenge 38. So I really appreciate everybody, and then watching through the challenge seasons, like especially Australia. We did watch parties on my patreon.com /AngelCakeVids. We did a watch party every single week for the Challenge Australia. So that was really fun. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and be like, this was absolute bad, but you could tell like there's some things that you could have done better. But I guess you could say that about everything. I can't drink the drink. I can't drink it. Drew, did your all-time rank of Jordan change after this season? I don't know. I always felt like he was a really great competitor. So like, I don't think it really changed. I think it solidified where I felt he was. But I mean, we have to the channel has to get to a certain mile marker before I'm putting together, because that's the thing. I've been waiting. I've been holding off putting out what I would deem the definitive top 25, top 50 players of the challenge until we hit a certain mark subscriber wise for the channel. So I'm not going to give away too much, but yeah. Hey, I like Physical 100. That was lit. It was really good. Oh my gosh. I started it and I couldn't stop watching it. It was so good. I highly recommend Physical 100. I'm not putting that on the screen, but oh man. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. This is such a missed opportunity on all levels. Is like, Challenge the Big Brother Canada is such a huge commodity, like is such a great show, has great contestants, yet nothing. We get nothing from the flagship show, some spin-offs. I mean, X on the Beach had I can't remember his name. He came on as Davon's ex. But yeah, they had some Big Brother Canada on X on the Beach recently, but other than that, the challenge really likes to be like, nah, let's look somewhere completely elsewhere, which is wild. Wild. There are more spin-offs, the more videos we get from you. That is true. I mean, it also takes away some of the other videos I could do, like some of the more edited videos, because I'm doing so much reviews and recaps. But hey, content is content. The Challenge Canada, yeah, let's do it. I mean, I'm never really going to complain about more challenge content. I mean, I will say that it's always better to get quality over quantity, but I won't say no to more challenge content. And especially when it gets me to like talk about the challenge. I love talking about the challenge and then getting to read some of the comments, even though I haven't been as super involved with some of the comments as I used to be. But I just want to say that I really, really appreciate everybody who watches weekly and comments weekly. Trust me, I'm going through all the comments. I answer them as much as I can on a weekly basis and of all the projects that I'm doing. So I really do appreciate it, even if it feels like I'm not watching it, going over it as much. But yeah, this was a good live. Okay. Chris is telling me wrap it up. No, I'm just kidding. But I do need to wrap it up. I was planning on just talking for an hour and a half. We're an hour and 36 minutes. I do want to just go over real quick, make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chats, or I just want to make sure everybody got their shout outs, or I get to read. Oh, even Beastmaster. Obstacle courses are pretty cool. I mean, didn't Nam come from a Beastmaster? Not the best representation because of how many times he got DQ'd, but I agree. I agree with that. The challenge: Brazil, Germany, Mexico, Japan, Canada, South Korea. I mean, I would say yes to all of them. Yeah, let's just check it out, see what's happening. More content in general. That's what I say. I even said it in the same tone. I can't say that without saying it in the same tone I say it. Much love, Drew. Thanks for bringing a platform to live discuss the challenge. I've needed this. Thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you for all the super chats you've done, Sen Poppy, as well as Julia's Heart and Sue Becker, Rodrigo, Cash Wash, and Tastiest Taco. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you so much for the super chats. I will give another shout out. Thank you to everybody on a post tomorrow afternoon. Just saying, I'm going to wrap it up here very, very soon. I just want to get all the way back down to the bottom. And Troy is still calling out for harder daily challenges and also more Ninja Warriors. I can see this. Especially for Challenge Australia. I watched, if anybody has not watched Troy's highlights over on the Challenge Australia, please do so. And he has some friends that he trains with over on his Instagram, that I watch some of his training videos, and he's got some friends that I think would love to be on the challenge as well, who would come out and compete super hard. So, hey, yeah. I mean, Ninja was a great competitor, not the best person necessarily, or the most entertaining drama-wise, but Ninja Warrior and a strong player as well. But yeah, let me see. Let me just see if I missed anything. I just want to just make sure everything's cool. Jamar, yeah, that's him. That's him, Jamar. That I totally forgot his name. I don't know why I forgot his name. I did watch his season, or I watched some of his season. What was the season that I watched? Was it season 5? Everybody said was the best season ever. I remember watching one Big Brother Canada season, and it was really, really good. And I meant to watch more, but I didn't. But yeah, Troy wants harder dailies, and we want more Troy. That is correct. Olivia says it best. Troy wants harder dailies, and we want more Troy. That's exactly. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here on a Monday night. I really, really appreciate it. And one last thing before we go, I want to just thank everybody over at my Patreon. I'm going to just kind of get out of the way here. Okay, there we go. I want to thank everybody who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Giving out a shout out to everybody who supports me over there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who supports me over here at youtube.com. But thank you everyone who supports me extra over at patreon.com. Again, over at patreon.com, I'm giving out commentary vids of old seasons of the challenge. We have watched through 1 through 5, and we're almost done with season 6, Battle of the Sexes. And we're about to start season 7 in June. In June, we start season 7, The Gauntlet, and we're going to be watching through that season, as well as I'm going through the workout videos of Rachel Robinson over at the challenge. It's not good. It hurts me. And they're for beginners, quote unquote beginners. But it's really, really fun over there, as well as we're going to be doing some watch parties very, very soon. This Friday, we are going to be doing a Zoom watch party for CT's new movie, The Hunting Game, over at Tubi. So we're going to be sitting down and watching that through Zoom and chatting through it on this Friday. And then the Friday starting in June, we'll be watching through a season of The Real World. And that season is none other than The Real World Portland, starring Jordan, starring Marlon, starring Naya, Avery, Johnny Riley, etc. So that's some of the things that are going over, some of the exclusive content going over there, as well as weekly or during the off season, it's probably going to be bi-weekly live streams, kind of like this one, but it's more one-on-one with everybody, and it's really a lot of fun. So if you would like to join the bakery, if you would like to join my Patreon and support me, whether it's $1, $2, $3, or $5, it's over there at patreon.com/angelcakevid. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really, really appreciate everybody for spending their time, their Monday nights after a long, hard day at work or wherever you're from, or if you're at work, or if you just came home from school or been home from school and starting your week. I hope this was able to pick up your week. Thank you for being here. This was awesome tonight. And thank you again for everybody for being here. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.